So, good afternoon everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the evolution. So, first of all, what do you mean by evolution? Evolution is basically the history of life form, how various species evolve into over the earth. So, let's discuss. It is basically the study of history of life forms, history of various stages of the life. So, first of all, we are discussing about the stellar distance. What do you mean by stellar distance? Stellar distance is the distance traveled by the light emitted by the star. Basically, it is the distance of light emitted by the stars back in the million of years. Okay. So yes, it is measured in the stellar distance, measured in the light years. Okay. Now we come to when the universe or life form, when they arise. Okay. So universe is 20 billion years old, and how universe is made. Universe is made up of various cluster of galaxies. Okay, and galaxies are further made up of clouds, dust, and stars. Galaxies are further made up of stars and clouds, and clouds are made up of gas and dust. Gases such as hydrogen and helium that form the clouds. Now we come to Earth. Earth is also seen as a speck. Why it is seen as speck? Because in the universe, if we see the Earth, it is just a small point. That's why it is called as speck. Earth is just a speck. Now, when the Earth arises, it arises 4.5 billion years ago. So, it is 4.5 billion years old. Okay. Now, we come to when life arises. Life arises 500 million years after the Earth formation, or 4 billion years old. It is 4 billion old. Now, when the life form arises in the non-cellular form. So, first non-cellular form arises 3 billion years back. So, non-cellular form arises in the 3 billion years back. Okay. Okay. Now we come to the Big Bang theory. What do you mean by Big Bang theory? Big Bang theory explains the origin of a universe. How universe arises in the physical form. What lead to the formation of universe? So it explains the origin of the universe, how the universe form, or from where it is originated. So there is a single hot dense point. There is a single hot dense point, and due to high temperature, it explodes. And when it explodes, it forms the physical term or physical reality in the form of universe. So, forming the universe. Single hot dense point, it explodes. When it explodes, it forms the universe. And when the universe forms, it cools down and temperature is decreased. Okay. Now we come to the various gases. So, early Earth has no atmosphere. After millions of years, there is formation of various gases such as hydrogen and helium. These gases are formed. And when these gases are formed, due to the force applied by the gravity, it gets condensed. Hydrogen and helium gases get condensed, forming the galaxy. So it forms the galaxy, hydrogen and helium. Now we come to Milky Way galaxy. Milky Way galaxy is spiral in shape, and it contains the solar system. So it contains solar system, and as we know, solar system contains various planets, and one of which is Earth. Right? So Earth is present. Now we know early Earth has no atmosphere. Okay. Now we come to the role of sun. A role of sun in the Earth. How new gases or products are formed. So sun releases various rays such as UV rays. Right? These rays are so powerful that it breaks down the water. So this is the sun. Right? Sun releases various rays such as UV rays. These rays break down the water into hydrogen and oxygen. Hydrogen is light. Hydrogen gas, when we break down the water into hydrogen and oxygen, hydrogen is light in nature. That's why it gets escape in the outer atmosphere. However, oxygen molecule, it combines with various gases such as methane and ammonia, forming carbon dioxide and water. So we can also observe that sun with the help of UV rays, it is breaking down the water into various gases such as hydrogen and oxygen are also combining with another gases forming the water again. So this is a complete cycle balancing their nature. Okay. Now oxygen molecule also combined with the oxygen atom forming the O3, that is the ozone. As we know, ozone layer is present in the outer atmosphere, stratosphere, and it protect the outer atmosphere of the earth from the UV rays, right? So that is ozone. Now we come to the theories. So early Greek thinkers, they have a thought that there is a spore that comes from the outer space and it gets released in the atmosphere of the earth and forming arising of the new life form. So they call this spore as a unit of life. They thought that spore is a reason that how new life form arises on the earth. Now we come to the panspermia. This theory is given by some astronomer, and they thought that the panspermia is basically a small rock or meteoroid which contain various bacteria in the outer space, and when they get released in the earth, so it is a reason appearance of life on the earth. So it is based on the theory of rock or meteoroid on which various bacteria or life forms are present. Now we come to the theory of spontaneous generation. What is theory of spontaneous generation? So theory of spontaneous generation, it says that life forms, living beings arising from the non-living matter such as mud or maybe rotting, decaying matter, right? So new life forms arising from the non-living matter such as decaying, rotting or straw matter, anything which is non-living matter. This theory also called as abiogenesis. Okay, abiogenesis or non-living matters. So, however, this theory is completely wrong. So, Louis Pasteur is a scientist which disapproved this theory. He experimented on the flask. He provided two flasks. One has a straight neck, another is an S-shaped neck. We can observe that this is the first flask in which the neck is straight and another has an S-shaped neck. So what he did was he provided heat. He gave the heat to both the flask, and in this material yeast is added. Yeast is added in both the flask, and when he heated the flask, yeast get killed in both the flask. However, in this, due to the straight neck, through the air, new spore arise in the flask and new life can be seen in this flask. But however, due to the S-shaped neck in this second flask, air cannot properly pass through this S-shaped neck, and new life does not arise in this second flask. So what was the observation? Observation was that life form arises from the pre-existing life form, not from non-living matter. So that was his theory. Now we come to the Apparin and Harding. What was his theory? He says that life form arises from the non-living organic molecules such as RNA and protein. So, pre-existing non-living organic molecules such as RNA and protein giving rise to the life, that is a living. So, living being arise from the non-living but organic molecule. Okay. Now we come to the Chemical evolution. So what is chemical evolution? In this organic molecule giving rise to various diverse organic molecule. So inorganic molecule which giving rise to the various diverse organic molecule. Now we come to the early Earth. Early Earth has high temperature, volcanic storms and reducing atmosphere. So what do you mean by reducing atmosphere? When the oxygen gas is very low, present, but it is present in very low amount, cannot be properly used. So that's why it is reducing, and it also contains various gases, another gases such as methane and ammonia. It contains methane and ammonia. Now we come to the Miller experiment. Miller experiment, he make an experiment in which he take the closed flask and treated the condition similar to the earlier. So he takes the closed flask in which he added various gases such as methane, hydrogen, ammonia, water vapor, and heated this flask at high temperature, about 800 degrees Celsius, high temperature. So after this experiment, what was his observation? So he observed that there is a formation of various molecules such as amino acid, lipid, pigment, sugar. So there is formation of these molecules, and there is also formation of giant molecules such as protein, lipid, polysaccharide, RNA. So these very giant molecules are also formed. Now after that, there is also saying that the single molecule giving rise to the complex molecule. First of all, single cell arise, then single cell can be unicellular, then it gives rise to multicellular, then complex molecule organism form. So single cell, unicellular, then give rise to the complex molecule. Now we come to the biogenesis. What do you mean by biogenesis? When the no living molecule giving rise to the living molecule. So that is the biogenesis. So that's what